Hello, my friend. Sit down, get comfortable. I want to talk to you. 6 months ago, I was exactly where you might be right now. I was stuck. I knew English, but I didn't own it. I could understand, but I couldn't speak with confidence. My mind was a library of grammar rules and vocabulary words, but when I opened my mouth, the library would catch on fire. Silence, fear, frustration. I decided that was enough. I gave myself a deadline. 6 months. Not to become perfect, but to become free. And today, I want to share with you not a list of rules, but the story of my transformation. This is how I learned English in 6 months. It didn't start with a textbook. It started with a decision. A deep, burning decision that I was going to do this for me. I stopped seeing English as a subject to be studied and started seeing it as a new part of my identity. I gave myself permission to sound silly. I embraced the mess. I told myself, your voice is important and the world needs to hear it even with an accent, even with mistakes. This was the most important step. I changed my heart before I changed my habits. In the first month, I fell in love with the sound of English. I stopped listening to complicated news reports that made me feel stupid. Instead, I found voices I enjoyed. A calm podcast about everyday life. A motivational speaker who made me feel strong. I would listen while I walked, while I cooked, while I rode the bus. I wasn't always actively studying. I was just letting the water of the language flow over me, smoothing out the stones in my mind. I kept a small notebook, not for single words, but for beautiful phrases that made me feel something. I've got this. What a beautiful sight. I was collecting magic spells. The second month, I started using those spells, but in the safety of my own world. I started talking to myself. I'm not kidding. In the shower, I would describe the water. In the car, I would talk about my dreams. At first, it was just simple sentences. The sky's blue. I feel happy today. But then, it became stories. Let me tell you about what happened at work. My voice was shaky, but it was there. I was building a bridge between my thoughts and my tongue. I also became a shadow. I would find a short clip from a movie, and I would try to copy the actor's voice, their emotion, their rhythm. It felt like a game, but it was training my mouth to move in new ways. Then came the third month, the month of courage. I knew I had to take the leap. I signed up for a conversation app. My hands were literally shaking before my first call. I remember my heart pounding in my ears. I clicked the button and a friendly face appeared. I said, "Hello, my name is," and my English is not so good. And you know what? The person smiled and said, "That's okay. Thank you for practicing with me. That first conversation was a beautiful disaster. I made 1,000 mistakes. I forgot words. I used my hands like a crazy person, but I communicated. And when the call ended, I felt like I had climbed a mountain. I had faced the monster, and the monster was just a friendly person. I did this once a week. It became my church, my temple of practice. The fourth month was a turning point. I stopped being a student and started being a communicator. When I didn't know a word, I didn't panic. I danced around it. I described it. I didn't know the word shelf, so I said, "the wooden board in the wall where you put books." It worked. I started listening for the small words that glue the language together. Actually, though, I started thinking in simple English blocks instead of translating long, complicated sentences from my native language. My speech became faster, smoother, and much more natural. By the fifth month, magic was happening. English was no longer a separate thing I did for 1 hour a day. It became a part of my life. I changed the language on my phone to English. I started reading blogs about my hobbies, about photography, about technology, in English. I was learning about things I loved, and the language was just the vehicle. I was no longer studying English, I was using English to study life. This is the secret. Fall in love with the content, and you will effortlessly learn the language. The 6th month, I looked in the mirror and saw a different person. The person who was afraid was gone. In their place was someone who could get on a video call and have a real, meaningful 30-minute conversation. I could tell a joke and people would laugh. I could share my opinion and people would understand. I could tell a story from my childhood. Did I still make mistakes? Every day. I still do. But the mistakes don't scare me anymore. They're just footprints on my journey. So, my dear friend, this is my story. But it can be your story too. Your 6 months start now, not tomorrow, today. It starts with a decision. Your decision to be brave, to speak, even if your voice shakes, to listen to the music of the language, to collect phrases that make your heart sing, to find one person to talk to, just one, to embrace the beautiful, messy, glorious process of making mistakes and learning from them, to use English to explore what you already love. You already have everything you need inside you. You have the courage. You have the intelligence. You have a voice that the world needs to hear. Stop preparing. Start speaking. Stop studying. Start living in the language. Your journey to fluency is not a straight line. It is an adventure. And I am telling you, from the other side, it is the most rewarding adventure you will ever take. You can do this. I believe in you. Now go. Your 6 months have begun. And so, my friend, here we are. You've walked with me through my story, through the stumbles and the breakthroughs. But this was never just about my journey. This was always about lighting a path for yours. Look back at the person you were when you started listening today. Now, close your eyes and feel the person you are becoming. In 6 months, you will not just be someone who knows more English. You will be someone who has conquered fear. You will carry yourself differently. You will walk into a room or join a conversation with a quiet knowing that you belong there, that your thoughts matter and your voice can be heard. This is about so much more than language. It is about the profound confidence that comes from keeping a promise to yourself. The path is marked. You have the map. You know that it begins with a single brave decision to speak to yourself. It grows with the courage to find one conversation partner. It flourishes when you let English become the soundtrack to your passions. There will be days of dazzling clarity, where every word fits perfectly, and there will be days that feel cloudy. On those days, I want you to remember this moment, this feeling of possibility. Be gentle with yourself. Trust the process. Every single step counts. You are not just learning, you are evolving. You are adding a new color to your soul, a new instrument to your voice. The world is vast and filled with stories, friendships, and opportunities that have been waiting for one thing, for you to decide that you are ready. You have the heart. You have the strength. I believe in you with all of mine. Now take a deep breath. This is your beginning. Go and meet your magnificent future.